This weekend, one of the premier races in the Backyard Ultra World takes place in Southern Ohio at the McChesney Ridge Athletic Club. Over the years, this race has cemented itself as one of the top locations for amazing performances, only rivaling Big's Backyard Ultra. It takes a special environment for special things to happen. If you've never been to the McChesney Ridge Athletic Club to participate or spectate this race, you are truly missing out on history each and every year. This year, the winner of Ohio's Backyard Ultra will receive automatic entry into Big's Backyard Ultra in the fall. As a disclaimer, there is truly only one finisher and winner at a Backyard Ultra event, but for the purpose of this video, I will be placing people in the top 10 positions as if it were a normal race. Also, many of the runners have some ridiculous Backyard Ultra performances in the past, and instead of calling each lap a yard, I will convert the yards to miles for you so you can truly get a grasp of how special these performances are. Now that we've set the parameter, let's dive into our predictions for Ohio's Backyard Ultra this year. Let's ride. Let's kick things off starting in 10th place. I've got it going to Frank Lino, and there are very few runners in this field that love the Backyard Ultra type of events or timed events more than Frank does. Less than 2 months ago, he finished 3rd place at the Mad Backyard Ultra, running 120 miles. Last September, he had an impressive showing at the Heinzport 48-hour endurance run, running 140 miles at that event. And of course, in 2022, he just missed out on a top 10 spot at Ohio's Backyard Ultra, running 137.5 miles. Frank, welcome to the top 10. We're excited to see how you do at this year's race. 9th place, I've got it going to an incredible runner, one who's very familiar to the Ohio Backyard Ultra family, and that's Mike Rowe. Let's walk through his previous finishes at Ohio's Backyard Ultra over the years. In 2020, Mike ran 129 miles at OBU. In 2021, that was his breakout performance year, running 162.5 miles at this event. And then, of course, in 2022, last year he ran 112.5 miles at this race. Mike also finished up 2022 with an impressive result at Canal Corridor 100, running an impressive time of 18 hours and 30 seconds. I think it's personally safe to say that Mike will be running more than 162.5 miles this year. Mike Rowe, we've got you finishing 9th place. 8th place, I've got it going to a name familiar to those who were at the event last year, and that's Jessica Suthers. My goodness, she finished 10th place at last year's event, running 145 miles. This will be her 3rd Backyard Ultra performance in her career, and she has improved on each of her previous performances in the past. The one thing I look for in runners kind of to do well at the Backyard Ultra format is they do have to have the pace to run 100 miles in 24 hours, 200 miles in 48 hours, etc., etc. And Jessica is one of those people that I believe has plenty of pace to do just that. In 2021, Jessica ran 19:29 at the Javelina 100, and she also has a Woodstock 100-mile win under her belt back in 2017. We're super excited to see what Jessica does at this year's event, but we've got her finishing 8th place. 7th place, I've got it going to an incredible runner who's just 25 years old, and that's Tyler Keenan. My goodness, he finished 6th place at Ohio's Backyard Ultra last year, running 158 miles. He's also finished the Ohio 100-mile trifecta, running 19:08 at Burning River 100, 17:52 at Canal Corridor 100, and 22:17 at the Mohican 100. This guy has plenty of pace to go the distance at this race, and I think he's a lock to go 175 miles at this event. Tyler, we've got you finishing 7th place. And just missing out on the top 5 at this year's Ohio's Backyard Ultra, we've got it going to another impressive runner, and that's Gerald Beatty. My goodness, this guy ran Ohio's Backyard Ultra in 2022, running 62.5 miles. He had plenty of impressive results later in the year, including a 32:09 finish at the Cruel Jewel 100 miler, and he also ran Canal Corridor later that same fall, finishing 4th place, running a time of 15 hours and 12 minutes. 2 months later, after running Canal Corridor, instead of shutting it down like most people would, and I know personally I probably would after running an impressive time like that, he's like, why not do another 100 miler? So he signed up for the Crooked Creek 100 to wrap up the year, and ended up winning the race in 21 hours and 7 minutes. I think this will be a very impressive showing for Gerald at his second go-round at OBU, but we've got you finishing 6th place. We are officially in the top 5 at this year's OBU predictions, and this is my 200-mile club at the race this year. All 5 of these people are going to hit 200 miles, and I'm going to start things off with 5th place. 5th place. 5th place? 5th place. Maybe it should be 4th place or higher, honestly. Jennifer Russo, my goodness, she's the most decorated runner in the field in terms of incredible race performances over the years, has finished in this exact position, 5th place. Just last year at Ohio's Backyard Ultra, running 162.5 miles. She has also been the assist twice at this race, both in 2020 and 2021. In 2020, she ran 154 miles, and in 2021, she ran a very, very impressive 225 miles at OBU. Yes, that is 54 yards for those keeping track at home. Some of her other accomplishments include a 2nd place finish at the Bigfoot 200 miler, 1st place finish at the Potawatomi 150 miler, and a 3rd place finish at the No Business 100. She also has wins at both the Mohican 100 and the Burning River 100. Jennifer, welcome to the top 5. Welcome to 200 miles at this event again this year. We're excited to see it. We've got you finishing 5th place. 4th place, I've got it going to a runner who was actually the assist at last year's race, and that's Josh Laker. Josh stormed his way into Ohio Backyard Ultra history last year, finishing as the assist, running 187.5 miles. Previous to that, he won the Kentucky Last Soul Standing Backyard Ultra, running 150 miles at that race. He's also finished some of the toughest races on the East Coast, like GDR, Breaks Ultra, and plenty of others. He has plenty of pace to go the distance at this race. He's definitely going to be coming in thinking about one thing only, and that's the win after being the assist at last year's race. But Josh, this year we've got you finishing 4th place. 3rd place, just missing out on the assist spot at this year's race. I've got it going to Abe Mancino, and this will be his 4th Ohio's Backyard Ultra experience over the history of the race. In 2020, he ran 125 miles at the event. He followed that up in 2021, running 133 miles, and then it happened. Then the big one happened, where 2022 breakout year ran 171 miles, finishing 4th place at this event. Just 6 weeks after that incredible performance last year, he decided, hey, guess what? I'm taking my talents to Cocodona 250, where he ran for 111 hours and 2 minutes, finishing that race as well. Abe will 100% be locked into this race, and I'm expecting him to take a massive step forward again and go well over 200 miles this year. Abe, we've got you finishing 3rd place. In taking home the assist at Ohio's Backyard Ultra this year, I've got it going to an incredible runner, and that's Tara Dower. For the past few months, I've had a good idea of where my OBU picks were going to land, but this was the hardest one for me to pin down because I think there's a legitimate shot that she wins this entire race. She's been running ultras for what feels like less than 5 seconds up to this point in her career, but has had some incredibly impressive results during this short time. Her second 100 miler ever, she won the Blood Rock 100 miler. Please do yourself a favor and take a look at that race and what that race entails if you haven't already. Last year, she ran 4 100 milers in the course of the year. She started off the year running 3rd place at the Umstead 100, running 16:56 at that race. Just 5 weeks later, she finished 2nd place at the Cruel Jewel 100, running a time of 28:06. Then the big one happened. Took her talents to Colorado, where she finished 2nd place at Run Rabbit Run 100, running 23:08 at that race. And the craziest part to me is that she decided, hey, the year's not over. I'm not done yet. This is not enough for what I want to do in 2020. So she decided to run the JFK 50 miler, where she finished 5th place at that race. And then she ended up winning the Devil Dog 100 miler outright in 20 hours and 8 minutes. I expect her to make a huge splash in her Backyard Ultra scene debut, and that's why I've got her finishing as the assist at this year's Ohio's Backyard Ultra. In taking home the win at Ohio's Backyard Ultra this year, I've got it going to Dan Jovitz. And I'm just not picking Dan because he's a fellow Mountain West guy. I actually think he's got a legitimate shot to go back to back at this incredibly impressive field of runners at this year's race. Last year, he won the race by running 191.67 miles, just beating Josh Laker. Previous to that, he's a 3rd place finish at the Capital Backyard Ultra, running 175 miles. He did win a local to him Backyard Ultra as well in 2020, running 137 miles at the Tartarus Backyard Ultra. Tartarus, I'm not sure. Maybe Dan can tell you guys on how that one's pronounced. Pacific Northwest race out here. Backyard Ultra, he ended up taking home the win in 137 miles at that one. He's got plenty of impressive 100-mile finishes as well in his career, including an I Am Tough 100 finish and a Mountain Lakes 100 finish as well. Dan, let's do this. Welcome back to Ohio, and congrats on taking home the win at Ohio's Backyard Ultra again this year. Thanks for watching another Ridge Runners prediction video. As always, we want to know who your picks are to win this year's race. Who's going to win the race? Who's going to be the assist? Who do you have in your top 5? We want to hear in the comment section below. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel on YouTube if you haven't already. Best of luck to everyone who's going to be down at the McChesney Ridge Athletic Club this weekend. I'm excited to tune in all weekend long to hear about, what incredible performances are going to be happening at the race. There's always history to be made, and I think this is one of the years that it's going to happen again. Can't wait to see everyone on the other side.